we go. Can you hear me now? Anybody out there? Can you hear me now? Anybody out there? Can you hear me now? Anybody out there? Hey, Rob, I appreciate it. Thanks. Glad you guys are getting into it. It's a lot of fun and real cheap entertainment, compared to firearms, which, pellets are pellets and bullets are bullets. So everything's pretty much fun, though. But when it comes down to it, you get a lot more bang for your buck, literally, in pellet guns. Down to it, you get a lot more bang for your buck. Who's all out there tonight? Tyler, are you watching? Did you ever get that email? Yeah, Massachusetts. I've never been up that way, but I'm sure it's kind of constricted. Pretty much all those states up there like that are, constricted on what they want, whether it's firearms or whatever, certain section of the state. Luckily, here in Indiana, we have pretty much no restriction. Oh, what's going on, Dope Trap? I like the Gauntlet a lot, really. I been meaning to do a review of it, but just find the time and everything. I've been shooting it a lot, actually. Pretty much shoot it. I would say at a minimum of about 200 pellets a week. Just depends on how much time I have on my hands to pump it up, because it gets 60 shots in the bottle, regulated shots anyway. So I shoot it quite often, and I've been working out the kinks with it. There ain't been hardly any problems or nothing like that. I just been tailoring the gun to me. I like it a lot. It's a totally different gun compared if you've never shot a regulated PCP, and you can definitely compare it to guns that cost 3-4 times as much, because it's worth it every penny. Even if you do pay full price at $300, it's worth it. Tell him I said hi, Rob, and thanks. I thought it was pretty cool too. I've never done that before. Yeah, I wish Tyler would be able to get on. I don't know if you guys know about Google Hangouts and stuff, but he has the Stormrider, and he could tell you everything about it. I shot the Emerald Air, which was the same gun, but he's hunted with his a lot over the winter here, and I wish we could get him on here. That way he could talk about it, because it's a sweet shooting gun, and it's for what it is, for being under $200 and getting a magazine and everything else. It's a pretty good gun, but. Yep, I'm in Indiana. Yeah, I love the Gauntlet animal, and I got some stuff and that I've learned about it that nobody's ever mentioned in their video reviews of it. So I'm definitely going to be letting you guys announce of the gun once the review of it. Oh yeah, the Benjamin Prowler and Crossman Fury, or yeah, Crossman NPs are pretty much all the same gun. They're great guns. I know the Prowler supposedly comes with a decent trigger, but the Crossman guns doesn't. So if you ever want to mess with a trigger, you can go with a longer screw. You can do a bearing, or you can just go with the Charlie de Tuna trigger, which I got in mine. The Charlie de Tuna is basically a two-stage with adjustable take up and poundage screw. But other than that, they're pretty good guns. Benjamin and Crossman guns, like Crossman pellets best that I found. Sometimes they might shoot JSB, but for a gun being that inexpensive, to me, there's really no point in paying, $10, $15 a tin for pellets when you can get, I get my pellets from Walmart.com. I order H&Ns and the Crossman domes for like $8 a tin of 500 of the Crossman domes, and then I get H&Ns there for like less than $10 for 200 pellets. But let's see. The best place to buy air guns, well, I guess the best place to be wherever you can find the best for. 22-177. Really depends on the shooter. PCP too, PCP or break barrel. I've shot both. I've never hunted with a PCP 177, but I've shot a lot of squirrels with the 177 break barrel, and out to a certain yardage, I mean, as long as you could hit the target, you shouldn't have a problem. There's really no right or wrong answer, which is better. It just depends on what you're using at the time and what you're sighted in with and used to. I guess that's everybody's got an opinion, put it that way. I mean, Crossmen make decent break barrels. Their trigger just aren't the best. Their PCPs are okay, I would say. I mean, I've never shot one, and the reason why I say they're okay is because I can't stand plastic triggers like the Maximus, like that's their entry level PCP. Um, I chose the Beeman QB Chief over the Maximus because of the trigger. The Chief has a full metal trigger, has a fully adjustable trigger, and the barrel on it was confirmed by Beeman to be match grade, and so is the trigger. So Beeman wasn't playing around when they came out with the QB Chief, and it can outshoot so many rifles for what it costs. I mean, $180 air gun, it can keep up with the best of them. I mean, at 50 yards, if I'm shooting at the power curve or the shot curve with JSB 1589's 5.52 head size, it can one hole a group, one hole. I mean, it's just insane how accurate it is. Yeah, the Crossman guns or Benjamin guns seem to like either the hollow points or the dome the best. Sometimes you'll find a gun that likes the pointed or the destroyer, but pretty much all the break barrels pretty much shoot, you know, the pellets the same out to a certain distance. I don't know. It's all depending on the velocity of the pellet, truthfully. But the domes shine at a farther distance because they're ballistic coefficient. So, I mean, I know that's depending on how far you're shooting out with your break barrel. I mean, if you're shooting, you know, 50 yards and you're doing fine with hollow points, then stick with them. But if you're noticing, you know, you're shooting with your break barrel and you're like spot on at 25 yards and then you move out to 50 and they're just all over the place, it's because the pellet's being unstable at that distance and it's losing its, you know, velocity and starts to tumble or whatever. And then you got to switch to dome pellets. But yeah, I mean, I've had really good luck with the hollow points, and they work in a lot of guns, and they're cheap. So, but I'm in the same boat as you are. It's hard to find really anything air gun around here in Indiana too, because there is no. I mean, Indiana Air Guns actually just opened up on the 1st of this month. But other than that, there is no place to really get air gun stuff unless you ordered it online or you know, buying stuff from Walmart, which, you know, some of that stuff isn't the best you can get for the money you spend. My Walmart here in town always has Crossman 22 hollow points in stock, but that's about it for 22. They did have a couple tins of piranhas that I bought one of them, but other than that, they didn't really have too much to offer for 22 caliber guns. I think they might still do have a couple boxes of those Benjamin Prowlers, and I was looking at them because they were just on sale not too long ago for $98, but that's about it. Pretty much everything else is 177, and it's like the bulk of the bulk packs. You know, you get like the Crossman hollow points, you get the what other ones do they have? I can't remember that were 177, but most of their guns in stock were 177. Beam and Silver Kodiak a long time ago. I swapped barrels on it. It came with the 177 and the 22 barrel. And it wasn't my cup of tea. I feel like the Prowler now that I've seen what it's actually capable of can blow a lot of these air guns out of the water for the price point that it's at. Because the Prowler and pretty much any Crossman nitro piston, regular nitro piston, not an MP2, are around $100, and you really get the best for your money. Let's see, Gene Bear. Hey, how's it going? Yeah. keep sending the invitation time on. Um, you can't really fork out because the gun alone, unless you find a really good deal on it, you know, it's going to be bought for around $270, $300, and that's not including the hand pump you got to buy, or if that's how you're going to pump it up, put air in it, because you know you either have to have a hand pump, either air compressor or some type of fueling tank, and that's extra. So by the going to be some about a couple $100 extra on top of what the gauntlet cost just to get shooting. So I don't know. It's kind of hard to say, depending on how much money you want to spend. Really, I went with the gauntlet wasn't even out yet, I don't think, or they were just talking about it when I got the Beam and Chief. The Beam and Chief is a great gun. It's the same as the Gauntlet, but it's not magazine fed. Same trigger, same everything except the barrel. The barrel's different. It's not shrouded or suppressed or anything like that. So, but if you can afford it and swing the Gauntlet, go with the Gauntlet. You'll be amazed. It comes with a magazine, everything, the whole 9 yards for what it is. But if you can't really fork out the money, I think the next best bet would be the Chief. Thanks, Kushank. Hopefully, I'm back now. Hopefully, I'm not having any interruptions. I switched to um, I switched my internet over, so it might be a little slower. If you got that much money, yeah, I definitely say go with the Gauntlet. But the next thing is, depending on how you want to air it up, if you're going to use a hand pump, you can find all that stuff. Find a hand pump, and I got a good scope on my. Well, I wouldn't say like a $high scope, but a scope that works, a real extreme budget scope. My whole setup was like for a person that didn't have used, the whole setup could be $350 out the door. That's with the scope, pump, gun, and then you probably have to buy you might have 22 pellets on hand, just depends, but about 350 or so, you can get a good setup on the Gauntlet. Be happy with it if you're going to hand pump. Yeah, then I would definitely go with the Gauntlet. You'll be amazed. It's just insane how accurate it is, and it's pretty much the same with every pellet. The only difference is when you shoot a bunch of different pellets, the only difference is the pellet weight and the velocity of the pellet itself, but pretty much they're all grouped the same. I haven't found a pellet yet shooting out of that gun, and that says a lot. I don't know if you guys see my head-to-head comparison of the Chief versus the Gauntlet, but the Chief really liked the 15.89s. It started to group up really good, but when you switch from pellet to pellet, that's when it starts to open up, because you're shooting off that last pellet that you used, depending on what brand and whatever it was. It's shooting off that last coating in the barrel. So if you stick with one pellet, you should have no problem figuring out, how the gun's going to shoot. I'll switch from pellet to pellet every once in a while. With the Gauntlet, you have a 10-round mag, so I'll usually like coat the barrel a couple shots, because the Gauntlet barrel is so tapered, well, tight chambered, that, like I said, that's how each pellet pretty much shoot the same group out of it, because it sizes the pellet for the barrel, and once it leaves the barrel, all the pellets are uniform. So if you ever get it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Am I ever going to get a Gamma Urban? Probably not. To tell you the truth, because my PCP, or my Umarex Gauntlet, is probably going to be the last PCP in 22 cal that I'll get, and I probably won't ever need anything else. Now, I'll probably shoot the Urban when Airguns, Indiana Airguns get it in. I'll probably get it for a video or something, but I doubt I'll ever buy one. And then I kind of want to see how it shoots, though. I want to do a comparison video, because I know Airgun Depot did that comparison where they compared it, to the Gauntlet, and it was just, I don't know. I might look into it and, like I said, shoot it from Indiana Airguns, but that's about it. But I know they're a really good quality gun, though, for sure. Made by BSA in England, so. Yeah, I'm glad I chose it. I mean, I know, it was all hyped in 2017, and it's got to be one of the best PCPs on the market right now, hands down. I mean, yeah, you got your high-end ones, but not everybody has $2,000 to just go out and throw down on an air rifle or bolt things. And the Gauntlet can keep up with it once you find out the right pellet. I'm still working on that, finding the right pellet. I just got some Air Arms Field Diabolo in, and today I actually got out because I got those pellets in the other day, and this morning it was like 4-mile-an-hour winds. And I was getting about 5 shots right at an inch and 100 yards. So it's just I gotta work with the gun at 100 yards to get it super tight. Oh yeah, Benjamin Prowler definitely a good gun. Like I said, I got the Fury MP by Crossman, and they're pretty much all the same gun with the MP. And I guess the Prowler is like phenomenal from what I've been hearing. And the trigger's a little bit better on that. So wish you guys the best with it. I'm thinking about getting one eventually, but like I said, I have the MP, so probably not that much of a difference. Tyler, still down there? Yeah, I don't know if you guys haven't seen the latest video with the Gammo Mach 1 Fusion. I still have the gun. That is one of the most accurate break barrels I've ever shot. I mean, at 25 yards, that video just doesn't justify how tight that group was. Quarter inch or less, I think it was less than a quarter inch at 25 yards out of a break barrel, just phenomenal. Yeah, I would definitely say it's worth
worth that much money. I mean, my Walmart was having them on clearance for $98, and even then, that's still a pretty good deal. As far as I can say off the top of my head, the Gambos have a really tight bore and barrel. The tolerances are a little bit better than Crossman. You'll see what I'm talking about once you start shooting it, depending on, I guess it really depends on where you bought it from or where it's made from. That Mach 1 Fusion is made in Spain, and the ones that are, you can buy at department stores and stuff, I'm sure probably made in China. But Gambo, in my opinion, is pretty much known for their tolerances no matter where they're made from. And with the 177, I used to shoot 177 at Gambo back in the day, and their rifles, to me, have always seemed they had real nice tight fit and finish. Yeah, if it goes that fast and that's rated with the PBA pellet, you're probably looking at, with the lead pellet, you're probably looking around 1,100 feet per second with like a normal weighted pellet, like an 8 grain or so. If you shoot like a 10 grain, that's what I would shoot out of it, a 10 grain or so pellet. You're going to get about 900, I think, maybe 800, between 800 and 900 feet per second with a 10 grain pellet. Yeah, I wish I could afford that Gammo Urban. That's why I've been switching some of my video titles around so I get more ads to play on the channel. Because more ad revenue, more ads playing, you get more ad revenue, so I can have a little more extra funding to buy stuff for the channel and be able to shoot a lot more. Oh yeah, it's so dumb just because you change a word. But now every time I watch a video, there's an ad. Yeah, I can't believe it. I mean, I guess, like I said in that video, YouTube used to be fun. I mean, I like talking to you guys like this, but trying to make a video and then all of a sudden it gets locked or demonetized because something gets triggered saying that the content is not eligible. That's a lot of bunch of crap if you ask me, especially with all that time and money that a person puts into their videos and effort. barrel like that with a lot of recoil. I shoot with the hammers, one-piece scope base with the stop pin, and they're 3 to 9 by 40 spring rated Airgun Magnum scope for like $60 on eBay. This scope is it's so beefed up, you will never have a problem with it. You could try it, but they recommend, a lot of scope manufacturers and rifle manufacturers recommend not to do that, because the glass on a regular rifle scope, non-magnum and non-air rifle rated, is only supported on one end or the other. You know, air rifles, brake barrels, mainly spring piston, gas spring or coil spring, are double recoil. So you have the recoil of the spring going off, and you have the recoil of it bouncing back as soon as it hits the receiver. So, I mean, I guess if the scope can handle it, that's totally up to you. I really rarely ever do that, because I've had a couple scopes break on me from shooting them with an air gun like that. But like I said, that's totally up to you to try it out. Yeah, I'm gonna probably stay on for a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to get Tyler on here. He keeps trying to figure out what the deal is. We used to live stream all the time, and I don't know why he's not getting the invitation in his email. I keep sending it to him so he can get live on here too, so you guys ask him some stuff. Yeah, it's so funny that I got like a crowd for air guns, because I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the air guns and stuff, but that was more like a niche thing, and I just started making videos on, and that's just how the channel started growing and growing. So now it's like everybody assumes that it's all for air guns. There you go. Yeah, I'm getting ready to start another AR build. I usually got a couple, and um, I see. I didn't build one last year, but I'm going to build one this year. I'm going to build a 300 blackout pistol. The one before that I built, it was a 300 blackout, 16-inch barrel. SOCOM contour with a 1 1/8 twist. Yeah, I reload 300 blackout too. It's so crazy how you can custom tailor your rounds to your gun, so that way every time you shoot the gun, it's the same consistency every time, instead of going to the store and buying different, boxes of ammo just to try out. I could take a bullet, no matter if the gun likes it or not, and custom fit it to the chamber, and pretty much 99% of the time, I can get that gun to shoot good with the bullet that I'm using. Oh, there he is. You guys see him? Master Disaster over there. You got your mic on? I can't hear you.
Now can you hear me? What about now?
Oh, yeah, the blackout's a fun round. I like it. 30 caliber and 2.2 case, 2.23 case. So So tell the viewers, Tyler, this is Tyler from Airguns Extreme, if you guys don't know. Tell the viewers about your Emerald Air, whether they should buy it or not. Or your Diana Stormrider.
I mean, it's a budget PCP. I mean, if anybody, wants to spend, less money and get a pretty good gun, it's easy to hand pump, like James's Gauntlet over there. He can hand pump his, but, if you want something a little more easier to hand pump, the Stormrider, it's plenty of accurate. You guys watched the 45-yard accuracy review. 25 yards, it's a tack driver. I've shot a lot of squirrels with that gun this past season, anywhere from like 20 yards all the way out to 75 yards. And it still had plenty of power all pass-through shots. You just got to find the right pellet for the gun. I would recommend that gun to anybody that would want to, get into the PCP. I mean, it's a budget PCP. I mean, if anybody wants to spend, less money and get a pretty good gun, easy to hand pump, like James's Gauntlet over there. He can hand pump his, but if you want something a little more easier to hand pump, the Stormrider is plenty of them. There's 25 yards. Fancy. Anywhere from and still had plenty of power after all caster shots. You just gotta find the right one. I would recommend.
Yeah, the gauntlets. Gauntlet's really fun to hand pump when you're used to a 2,000 psi gun. Going from the Chief to the Gauntlet, that's a big upgrade.
Yeah, I would definitely say.
So you get arms like these, Tyler. It's all from hand pumping right there. Got the muscles, man.
Where is everybody?
Gotta get those pecs all tightened up.
Jeez. Everybody leave?
Says there's still people watching. Oh, is your gun still holding there? Did you shoot today?
Yeah, I shot today. And it's holding air again. And me and my buddy today were doing some plinking out to 100 yards. And he was pretty impressed and how consistent it was. And it was about 120 yard plinking, and we were hitting cans and bottles. I even hit that little squirrel spin thing, and he even loved it. He's like, what do I do here? So I showed him what dot, and he's like, holy crap, this is easy to shoot. And I said, oh yeah, don't kick. That's But yeah, me and him had a blast shooting it, so it's still a little tack driver.
You got the Pinty on your gun too, don't you?
Yeah, I got the Pinty. It's like a 6x24 by something like that. But it is really pellet fussy. It likes the Crosman. But I am going to be doing the golf ball challenge here pretty soon. Today was just kind of reaching out to 100 yards to see
Because
what
it's got that tight German breech too, though, don't it?
Yep. So yeah, I'm getting ready for that challenge.
You like it nice and tight, don't you, Tyler?
How many people we got watching?
Mm, 7. I feel like 2 of us are.
Huh.
Let's count 2 of us.
Oh gosh.
Oh, I got websites for you guys to check out, by the way, if any of you are interested with you have a chronograph.
Yeah, I need to get me one of those. Yeah, the Daisy Powerline 880 is not it's not a real bad gun either. You know, you could shoot the pellets in the BBs. I would recommend the pellets out of it. I've shot BBs out of it. The BBs just don't fly as accurate. But no, that gun's also a good gun for, you know, if you got like a younger shooter or you want to get someone into it. I could find them pretty cheap here in Michigan for about, some places sell them for 60, some places selling them on sale for about $50. So not a bad price. And James, he was thinking of getting one himself. I don't know if he still is.
I heard Indian Airgun sells firearms. No, Indian Airguns is only airgun company, and they got supposedly their Facebook page got terminated because of the sale of firearms, and they don't sell firearms. So I guess Facebook is considering airguns as firearms now.
That's pretty stupid.
Yeah, I know it. Like all the local gun shops still have their Facebook page because that makes real sense. Oh, did you ever get those pellets? Try those pellets through the straight shooter pack yet?
No, not yet. I'll be getting them pretty soon here.
Did it come with air arm pellets? I can't remember. You listed it off last time.
I know it comes with a bunch of them. I believe so. I don't know what grain they come with. I do believe so.
I still can't believe your Diana has a head size of 5.51.
I know.
Because the Crossman domes, they would shoot probably decent out of it, but I'm sure like JSB 1589s or 5.52 head size or the Air Arms 5.51 shoot a little bit better.
Yeah. So here you go. Here's the pellet sampler. Air Arm Diablo Field 16 grain, Air Arm Diablo Field Heavy 18 grain. The 16 grain and the 18. I'll have to give them a try.
The Air Arm 16 grain Diablo field.
Yeah, and then they got the heavy, the 18.
Yeah, so the ones that I got in the 500 pack for $14 was the 16 grain. You gotta try those. They're $5 cheaper than JSB 1589. Same thing.
Yeah.
Can you click that link, Tyler, in the chat?
I could do it.
I just clicked it, and it worked.
Yep, mine works too.
So all those calculators are pretty cool. Because if you know your ballistics, you can find your ballistic coefficient in your gun with that pellet shooting at a different distance.
What snuff do you use? Yeah, Copenhagen wintergreen.
I don't chill. That stuff's gross. Only Tyler does that. That warm dirt, nasty coon crap.
Only over here at
do that.
like AGEX. Hey, did it say who's watching?
So here's a question for everybody that's watching. Have you guys ever slugged your air gun before? Doesn't say who, it just says how many.
No. Yep, got a big old got a coyote problem in our backyard, and I don't know if you guys I uploaded a video of just trail cam photos of the coyote, and I don't know how else to get them. I've tried everything I can think of. I had them come in one night, and they disappeared, and they're still around, but now they're coming in, but they're not showing their bodies anymore. Their tracks are around, but they're just not coming out into the open where I can get a shot at them. And there's going to be a video coming up on Airguns Extreme on a new hunting light from OD Pro, the KL41 will be coming up on my channel. I got the light. OD Pro sent it to me to do a review, so look forward to that. Waiting for a nice night to do it. It is snowing here again right now, so the quality of the video is just going to be weird tonight.
Yeah, slug the gun, like run a pellet down the barrel by hand with the cleaning rod, and then measure the rifling's landing grooves. And then it'll tell you exactly what your bore diameter is, and you should shoot a pellet just a hair bigger than that. That way you know, because if you shoot undersized, it's like a car driving down a highway with no cars beside it, just weaving in and out of traffic. Work on and have a Diana Stormrider. So tell them what's been going on with that gun.
What?
It happens, but it's just funny. It happens to him. And then he video calls me.
They what?
On demand pellet technician over here, air rifle technician.
Why did someone ask that?
talking about your Diana Stormrider, how asked if I worked on guns, and I said yeah, because you got to make sure.
Yeah.
Before you put any air in them on the valve. Yeah, if you just push a pellet down the bore, or depending on how the gun's made, brake barrels, you just push it down from where it's, at the bore down to the muzzle. But on guns like the Gauntlet or the Diana Stormrider, you have to fish the pellet from the muzzle towards the breech, and then you can measure it to see what the actual the pellet diameter is then. Best air rifle scope. It's hard to really say, I guess. It just depends on what you're looking for. If you want something up close or far away, I've been really venturing off into this brand called Pinty. I got the 4-16, and Tyler has the 6-24 on his gun, and I mean they're crystal clear for the price point. For like $50, I think I bought mine off eBay. There is no other scopes that I know of that can compare to it for unless you spend a couple $100.
The only downfall, the one that I have on my gun, is it makes it a little.
Pretty crystal clear too, Tyler. 6-24, whatever it is.
Oh yeah, it's clear. I could see like a cricket or jumping through the grass at 25 yards. It's so clear. Center points are not bad though. You just gotta get the right one. But what I would do is I would probably just.
No, what I was talking about slugging is, yeah, the center point. That's what I used to shoot a lot. But the ones that I used to shoot, they don't make them no more. Would you say the downfall was of the Pinty scopes?
Although the one that I have on my PCP is it's heavy. It does make the gun a little heavier, but to me, I don't really mind it. it makes the gun more accurate and it holds better groups, it's worth it. You know, it's, yeah, the center point, it made it all right, you know, but that scope, you know, past 50 yards, it was just blurry. So there was really, you know, nothing I could do about it. Now for squirrels, the reason why I had it on during squirrel season is because I was only having, you know, anywhere from 20 to 30 yard shots, which that scope, that center point 3 to 9 by 32 does fine out to, you know, 30 yards to 40 the max, even out to 50. And if by chance, you know, if you have to go past that, then it starts getting blurrier. So if you're gonna keep it in within 50 yards, that's not a bad scope to go to.
Oh yeah, especially if you're on a budget, that has to be one of the best scopes out there. I think I've seen them on eBay now for like 40, 45 bucks. I wish they came out with an adjustable objective on those 3 to 9 by 32s, and that'd be a sweet scope. But the only next best thing is I think it's like a UTG or a Leapers, and they're wanting like $100 something for it. Think about taking that Gamo to 100 yards to get my other badge for my long ranger challenge.
Yeah, I was thinking of taking 25 hats in the vortex, the edge, out to 100 yards. I'm pretty sure I could do it.
Yeah. Oh. Been shooting the old Ruger 1022 today. Got the match grade barrel on it and everything. 50 yards, I was getting one holers.
Yeah, that's the other thing I was doing today. I was taking out my Marlin Model 60 22 and was shooting that out to 100 yards today too. And my buddy was getting mad at me because I'm plinking cans with that gun too out to 100 yards, and he was not too happy with that. But I remember his first time ever shooting, and this was funny. His first time ever shooting a slug out of a shotgun. I had my rifled barrel on it, and he decided, he's like, I want to shoot one. Okay, so I let him shoot one. And by the time he pulled the trigger, he got scoped, and I told him he didn't shoulder it the right way. And you know, wasn't gripping it. He had it grip kind of light, so he kicked him back. The scope clipped his nose.
Well, there you go. Got the Adams Bennett 0.92 inch barrel on there, which is by Green Mountain. Hogue stock. Ruger target bolt. Ruger BX trigger group. Got the Bushnell Trophy XLT on there. Yeah, that 6 to 24 for me is just too much power. Once I get past 16 power on a scope, I can't shoot that well with it for some reason.
Yep, it's a pretty big scope. I mean, especially for, you know, a PCP. I'm only at
Takes up all the gun.
oh, I know it does. Well, what happened is, you guys ever do buy the Stormrider, I had another problem with this gun. When I first got it, it was shooting fine, and the pellets would, you know, because the magazine, they would feed into the magazine, and then when I go, you know, load it in with the bolt, they wouldn't slide in all the way, and I'd have to sit there and kind of like just force the bolt forward and then down, and accuracy was just terrible at that time, and I'm like, what the heck? So at that moment, I had to kind of look into it and took off the barrel. I had to take off the scope, and there's 3 set screws right here by my first mount, and you have to take an Allen wrench, loosen them up, pull them out, and then right here, right where the rear iron sight is, you have to loosen this up, and there's another Allen right here that you have to put in. Loosen that, and you just twist the whole barrel right off. And at that moment, found out exactly why that was happening. When they shipped the gun, my pellets were nicking the barrel, and it was bending it up a little bit, so there's just a little rough spot. Those pellets were hitting that rough spot, and at that moment, they weren't feeding all the way through, and I would have to sit there and jam them in and then down, and fix that problem. Ever since that problem, this comes from a little tack driver, and now every pellet feeds in, and all I have to do now is just do my one finger back, and then I could use my thumb to slide this forward and down. It's so easy now. So if you guys ever, get this gun, I would, if you guys have that same exact problem, chances are you probably are going to have the same problem I had. It's not a bad gun. I paid $160 for it. So,
Oh. Here's where it all began, right here. Take that, Tyler. So you guys don't know this, but he's supposed to be coming down from Michigan. So we're supposed to be shooting here the next couple of weeks. He's going to be coming down, and we're going to go up to Airguns, Indian Airguns. He finally gets to shoot the Gauntlet. Gotta trade that Stormrider in.
no. They haven't.
This chief will blow your mind, Tyler. There you go. Yeah, I kind of looked into stuff for it, but mine shoots at 860 right now with the Crossman domes, and then I just got some Air Arms 16 grain in Thursday, and I was shooting those this morning, and they're shooting like 830. I was getting about an inch group at 100. Do I still have to hand pump if that's what you're asking? Yeah, I hand pump this bottle. It's a 3,000 psi bottle, and it takes about from zero. It took me about over 250 pumps, and then from like 1,100, it takes about 200 or about 150 or so back up to 3,000. Yeah, it gets 60 plus shots. I've only shot about 60 times from a full fill, and then I refill it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah. My arms are like built to the hilt now from over the summertime pumping the Chief. And I bought a paintball bottle that was a 62 cubic inch, and this bottle on here is only 13 cubic inch, 5 times more. It took me about 1,200 strokes to pump this paintball bottle up like 3 times. I still can't believe it took that long for you to get connected, though. This is because I sent you the link directly, Tyler.
Yeah. Yep. Buddies are texting me. Hmm? They're all texting me. They're like, we see you.
Who's that?
My buddy Dylan and his girlfriend are watching.
Oh, God.
What? What?
There we go. Finally. So what kind of pellet should I use, Tyler, since you're the Airgun expert? Somebody had to ask.
Oh boy.
What do you think about those Gamma Red fires?
They're pretty cool. They out of the Stormrider, they do hole on hole at 25 yards. I'm actually attempting to go for an accuracy test at 30 yards with those.
Are they better than the Polymag?
Yeah, I would say. I haven't really tested them. You know, the only test I did between them, the Polymax and the Red Fire, was the bucket test. So I'll see how they actually group at 30 yards.
Yeah, I don't know anything about the pellets or anything like that. So, could you tell me which ones are the best to use for hunting like at 175 yards with a 177? Man, you went with the 177 caliber Gauntlet. Wait for it. I had mine within 3 business days. I ordered it. Tyler crapped his pants when I got mine in like 3 days after I ordered it because everybody else was still on the waiting list. Sportsman's Guide's no joke. Except when you got to wait for a pump from eBay. If they knew every story that you had, Tyler.
What?
I was talking about your pump, how our guns got here really quick from Sportsman's Guide because they're no joke when it comes to shipping. But when you got to order a hand pump for your gun over the holidays from eBay, good luck with that.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Would it take you like 2.5 weeks?
Yep. It was a pain in the butt. Listen up here, Larry.
He had to go to the post office and pick it up because it would take too longer to take him an extra day or so to bring it to his house. He couldn't wait no much longer. His Diana was collecting dust.
It was. It was. It was getting me annoyed.
Where'd you get your gauntlet from? You go through Pyramid Air or Airgun Depot or I can't wait to see your flashlight review, Tyler. I'm gonna tell Jenna on you. My ex Airgun. Me and Tyler were actually talking about this the other day. I am really debating on the Gauntlet 25 caliber. I just love the QB trigger. Only problem is though the Gauntlet's got the 25 caliber. The prototype has a 1900 psi regulator on it, so and it's only getting 30 shots at a 3000 psi fill. Yeah, I can't stand shopping at Pyramid Air or Airgun Depot unless I absolutely have to. And it's so dumb that that's pretty much the only place you can get JSB. Just I the Wildcat Whisper 22. I don't know. Is that the same one that you had, Tyler? The bone collector, pretty much the same.
I believe so. I'm pretty sure it was. See, I just had a big problem with mine. It wasn't shooting real well. And one of the reasons why I knew something was up with it is when I shot a squirrel with that gun this season, the pellet hit it and it never went in. It kind of just hit it and bounced
Yeah,
up.
you just need to get rid of that dying Stormrider though, and get a break barrel.
Yeah, it bounced right off the squirrel, so I said, forget it.
That's pretty bad. Well, didn't I tell you it was so underpowered? You shot a 2x4 at point blank, and the pellets just bounced right off of it. Didn't even really put a dent in the wood.
Yeah, that shot at point blank, and the pellet hit the wood, bounced off, and hit me in the leg. And I said, forget it. And then I took that one back and returned that one. I made the decision, should I just save? Should I take back that gun, get back the money, put that towards the Stormrider, or just a PCP? Wasn't sure what one I wanted, and I said, forget it. I'll just see if I can get another camo. So I bought the same exact one, and that one only lasted maybe a week. And I was talking to you, and that moment, it was bad. And that gun did the same thing. It was fine at first. The accuracy was there, and then after that, it went downhill, and just wasn't enough power. And then when I shot a rabbit in a video, yeah, I think it was a 75 or 80-yard shot, and the pellet went in and just barely went in enough to kill him. He was actually still alive, and I actually had to put another shot into him, and then he finally, that was it right there. So I said, all right. So I took that one back, got the money, and put it towards the PCP, and now I won't regret doing that. That was just a junk gun.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that brake barrels are so simple because they have the breech seal, they got the piston seal, and that's about it really in your power plant. And the power plants rarely ever go bad, so it's either your seals, one of your seals that's the breech seal or the piston seal. And a lot of people don't know how to tear that stuff down.
Yep.
But the opposite side is the PCPs, just like Tyler going through right now, is that depending on what it is, what kind of gun you got, your O-rings can go bad. And he just noticed that, and he's only had the gun for 2 months now.
Yep.
We did a full teardown video chat last night of his Diana Stormrider. So if you guys ever have a Diana Stormrider leak, email us.
Yep. And if you guys have problems loading up the pellet into the gun, chances are you got a barrel that is not seated right. Mine was a little rough.
You want to know what I think about the Fortitude? Definitely not worth it, in my opinion. Everybody's trying to come out with that $300 gun, and you're getting a lot more for your money with the Numerex Gauntlet than you are with anything else. Like the Hots on Edge, I watched a review of that gun. Why would you pay for only 12 shots on an unregulated gun?
Gosh dang, this cope long cut's making my nose itch.
Yeah, the Fortitude though, they first when they come out with it, they said it was going to get up to 90 shots in one fill, but I didn't see how that was possible because it's got the same air cylinder. There you go. Yeah, I highly recommend silicone lube for anything that's synthetic or O-rings, because if you use anything else, if it's not silicone, if you use like WD-40 or anything that's petroleum based, it'll eat right through the rubber and the seals. So like if you're wanting to diesel your gun or something. No, they haven't started anything here. Have you heard anything about that, Tyler, up there? They started trying to get rid of lead weights.
Nothing I heard of.
Yeah, I know. I get questions all the time, like, "Oh, what do you think about this gun?" It's like, "What do you think about this gun?" Just like there's this one guy that keeps emailing me or messaging me through Facebook about his Maximus. And when he first got it, he was telling me how he agreed with one of my videos saying that Gamma Red Fires were one of the best pellets over the Polymags. And he started shooting squirrels. And he was like at 20 yards and shooting squirrels, and they weren't even passing through. I'm like, how is your gun not passing through a squirrel at 20 yards? It's got to be underpowered. And then he's going to spend all this extra money like the Maximus. I was going to buy the Maximus if it wasn't for the Chief, but it's like a $220 gun now. And to buy all the extra stuff to get it the way you want to shoot is like a whole extra kit. And the Beam and Chief already had that single stage adjustable match grade trigger and barrel, so there's no upgrades that I need to do.
Geez, that gun's $300.
And the Maximus and Fortitude trigger, my opinion, joke. What, the Fortitude?
Yeah. $300 for it. Jeez.
Yeah, it's got the same air cylinder as the Chief, the 135cc. It'd be different if they put a regulator in it, just like they did with the new Marauder Field target gun. Then, in my opinion, it'd definitely be worth looking into for the $300 budget gun. But as it sits right now, just because you get a magazine, the Diana Stormrider would still be better than that gun for $170. All you're really paying for is a dummy down Marauder. which pellet gun shoots the far seat or the farthest? I'm surprised Beeman hasn't come out with their version of a $300 gun yet. That's what I've been waiting on. I'm waiting for their Beeman gun to come out with at least a regulator and a magazine fed gun. Then I'd be looking into it because I don't know what it is about Beeman.
That new gun is regulated. Yeah, I got my Stormrider for $160 on Sportsman's Guide.
Did I say it was unregulated? Yeah, it's supposed to be. You're supposed to get like I think 30 or 40 shots, regulated shots or something like that. But that's it.
Yeah.
But they're all under 800 feet per second. So what would you have gotten, Tyler? Would you have gotten the Chief if Sportsman's Guide had it like $20 cheaper than the Dying Stormrider?
I don't know. It's hard to say.
Does your magazine ever date your pellets up? That's what I was finding that I didn't really care for when I had that Emerald Air. I mean, you probably don't notice it with the hard Crossman pellets, but wait till you start shooting the soft JSBs.
No, I haven't. Nothing's really dented on mine. Or none of the pellets haven't yet.
Copper pellets. I think the copper pellets are actually worth it if your gun has a really super fine rifling. But other than that, if it's got regular deep cut rifling, then it ain't really going to matter. Yeah, one thing that I think that the Umarex Gauntlet really trumps over any other new gun that's coming out or it's been out for $300 is that you can go buy a HPA. You can go buy an HPA tank for a paintball gun, and it pairs right up to the Gauntlet. Gammo lead round balls. I don't know. Never really tried. I've never really shot lead in the or lead ball in a rifle barrel. Um, Pretty sure you can though. I think that's what those balls were made for. Can't remember why they even had those for though. But I'm pretty sure you can. Uh, the thing is about the Gauntlet, um, it's just a big mashed up gun of all like different guns that's been out for years, like all the QBs and stuff. So they basically took a repeating receiver and paired it with a regulated block of 1250 psi to connect to a HPA tank or CO2 bottle. If the Gamma Maxima is as accurate as the Mach 1 Fusion, then yeah, it's definitely worth it. I really want to try the Swarm Magnum. That gun right there is probably the closest you can get to a PCP rifle without buying an actual PCP. What do you think about that, Tyler? Swarm Magnum. Tyler, you still there?
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't know if you heard me. I asked what you thought about the Swarm Magnum. I can't wait to try it when Indian Airguns gets it in. Hopefully they'll have one in when you come down.
Yeah, I would like to try one myself. See how it performs.
No, you're too good for brake barrels now that you upgraded to the budget level PCP. Thanks, KTM. What time is it there over in Belgium? I bet it's, see, what would it be, later in the day or later in the morning? I'm not sure on the CO2 part. I think you can because it's rated so low. I think I've seen some guys on forums running like 800 psi CO2 on their gun. They were getting like so many shots out of their tank because they filled their CO2 bottle up to 3,000 psi and was running an 800 psi regulator on it. Yeah, the Gamma rifles in general seem like some long rifles. I got the Mach 1 Fusion right now that I'm still getting ready to test and do a video on, and it's just a super long rifle. Would I recommend air rifles for self-protection? Again, that's a hard question to answer because, I mean, if you can't afford a firearm or if you can't have a firearm legally, then anything is better than nothing. Yeah, I think we're going to have to get off here too. This is probably the latest I've been up in a long time. Probably call it quits around 1 o'clock. I think Tyler's falling asleep over there. But I'll talk to you later, Dr. Jones. Yeah, I've never shot a 357, but I shot that 45 cal Texan. Wait till you get to shoot that, Tyler.
What? Shoot what?
When you come down, they'll let you shoot the 45 cal Texan. It's a beast.
All right. Well, I think I'm gonna get off. And
I think this is the biggest crowd we've had in a long time.
oh yeah, how many people? How many people are watching?
Six so far.
Huh.
7.
But all right, I'm gonna get off of here.
All righty, I'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Oh, you might want to post your channel in the chat real quick, or no, they can see you. Or yeah, post your channel in the chat. That way, everybody can check you out. He's already gone. Yeah, that Umarex hammer looks pretty nasty, but for only getting 3 shots on one fill, it's pretty low shot count. But I guess, I mean, if that's what you're wanting, 700 plus foot-pounds. Yeah, I was gonna try to make it till 1 o'clock, but I'm sitting here dozing off, guys. So I'm gonna have to get off here too. But we'll definitely have to keep this going, like on the weekends or something, like once a week, do a live stream for you guys, and uh, definitely get more involved. have to plan a meet and greet sometime or something. But all right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning, night, or evening, or whatever it is in your time zone. I'm gonna go ahead and shut it off here, and I'm sure I'll talk to you guys later for sure. Commenting on my videos and stuff, and I really appreciate the support as always. So I'll definitely talk to you later sometime. So, all righty, guys, take it easy. See you next time.